What's going on, everybody? I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, whichever way you want to look at it. We just did an engine swap in this little Toyota truck. I didn't film it because, well, I just wanted to get it done, honestly, because I have a lot of stuff going on and we want to get this thing done. My buddy Matt helped me on it. Here's the old engine. He ran it with no coolant and it got a little hot. So, but it's swapped. There's the old radiator. It's swapped. As soon as my buddy Josh comes to pick this thing up, we're going to move on to the next project. Well, my buddy just came and got his truck. He's happy with it. I'm happy I made some money. He got his truck fixed. It's up and running again. His little daily beater. He likes that truck. That thing really drives really good. It drives better than my 4Runner. So, I mean, hey, cheap on gas, cheap truck. Why not? But today we're going to be actually focusing in on my truck, my Chevy truck. I got a new radio for it. My girlfriend got me this for Christmas. It's a Panasonic. It's the AVH-X390BS model. I think that's what it is. Really nice radio. I've looked at the reviews on it. It has really good reviews. Has more stuff on it than I'll ever need in a radio. Here's the back side of it, in case you guys are wondering what that looks like. But it has more controls and more stuff on it than I'll ever need. I'm not that big into tech stuff where I have to have all this stuff. I'm not that big. I mean, heck, I still listen to CDs from time to time, so, oh well. But I got the XM install kit, so I can still have my XM radio. I listen to that every now and then. I'm going to try to utilize my factory antenna, so I got this little coaxial for that, so rather than using the XM coaxial that came with my XM thing. And I got the radio install kit for the dash. I got new door speakers. I've already put the rear ones in. I got these are for the front, same size all the way around. Got it from Crutchfield. I hadn't ordered anything from there in quite a while. It's really nice because it came with the speaker install kit and these pigtails. So it's just all plug and play, no cutting, no splicing, no hacking up anything. I like that. So I guess we're going to get started with that. I've got to clean up in here a little bit more. I still got to clean up some cat litter. I made a mess. I actually had some cat litter to soak it up with. That's pretty cool. I'm going to get rid of my cherry picker and I'm going to move these lawnmowers so I can back my truck in right here, so I can open the doors. I got my truck backed in here, all good to go. I got everything moved out of the way. Before I get too started though, I'm going to change oil in it real quick because I'm a little overdue. So I want to get that done and then we'll get started with the speakers. I'm not going to film me changing oil in this truck because there's so many videos out there like that. So I got the oil change done on her now. So now we can start on the radio stuff. I'm going to start on the front door speakers. I'm going to show you guys how to do these, or show you guys what I do with these. Turn this little light on. Maybe I'll give some more light over here. It's so dark in this corner of the garage. Alright, so first things first, what we're going to need to do, get this door panel off, is I got a panel right here. Need to pop it off. I got one back here underneath this. I need to pop that off, and then I need to pop off this one, this little cover right here. And I also need to take off this piece. So just this one right here just pops right out. You can pop this off and it slides right out. So, and I need to take off this little cover up here too. So let's do that. Okay, I got all these little covers off. I took the cover off this door handle here and just had a screw up here and a screw right here, a 10 millimeter, and just popped the handle off. So now, got that off. Now I can work on getting the switches out, window switches out, just like so. Just pops right off, super easy. So now I'll unplug all this. And I got to take out the rest of these screws. I'll take out those two and this one right behind the door latch on my truck right there, and we should be able to pop the door panel off. Okay, I got the screws out. I got that screw out. I got the driver's side windows and door locks and everything, power windows undone. I got everything loose. So now I already popped it loose a little bit with my where'd it go? Toss it in here. Okay, I already popped this thing loose a little bit with my plastic tool here, so should be able to grab it and see. Golly. Alright, that should be it. Alright, I got my door panel loose right here, as you can see. I'm just going to let it hang off of this. It's not going to go anywhere. I mean, all I'm doing is just letting it hang right there. So now all I got to do is get to this little 7 millimeter or 8 millimeter. I think it's a 7. Let's see. Yeah, it's a 7. Take that loose. So I got the 7 millimeter bolt loose. So now I want to take this little pry tool, stick it, wedge it in right here, and just pry the speaker out, just like so. Speaker's pry it out. There you go. So now we'll unhook it. Now I got the door speaker unhooked. It's ready to come out. Don't forget this little retainer clip that's stuck into the door speaker right here, and you just unplug it. So there it is. So now let's go get the other one ready. Well, I got my speakers laid out. What I'm going to do first, these things really make it nice installing these. I mean, these are just like the factory little speaker mounts right here. As you can see, this is the factory speaker, and this is a little mount here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take this foam basically and run it around the edge of the speaker here. Then I'm going to take this speaker, mount it in here, and screw it down. So that's what I'm going to do real quick. Got my speaker installed. It's all mounted in there. It looks really good. I got my little pigtail hooked in there so I can hook straight into my factory wiring. So now I'm going to hook this into my wiring. I'm going to zip tie this up since I don't have a place to put this anymore. This little retainer right here. I'm just going to zip tie it all together inside here, and I'm going to remount this and put the little 7mm in, and we'll start putting the door panel back on. So now we're going to reinstall my door panel here. Get all these wires run back up in here, clip back in where they need to be. Just like so. It's all back in place. That's still up. Wiring still here. So I can still plug it all back in. The door feels like it's still working. So now I'll pop her back in place. That's it. So now we'll take a little screw gun here. We're going to put all the screws back in the door panel. Put the window latch back in. There it is. Alright, now we're going to put this back on. The door handle. Now I'll start putting the little trim pieces back on. Like that, like that. There's that. This one right here has a little hole in it. You're going to line it up. Pretty easy to do. There it is. And so you got to put the door lock thing in like that. Alright, and last but not least, up here. Bingo! All done. So now what I want to do is we'll go on, actually now I'll go on the other side. I'm going to do that real quick off camera because you guys just seen what I do, so it's really easy to do. So I'm going to do that one real quick and get that speaker knocked out. Well, I got all my speakers put in. They're all done and everything. That's going to call it. I'm going to call it a day for today. Tomorrow we'll be back here first thing in the morning. Okay, so today we're going to be installing the radio part. Yesterday we did the speakers. Well, I finished up the door speakers. Today we're going to be installing my new radio finally. Well, I got some light in here now, as you can see. I've already started popping this thing loose, and I figured I hadn't to turn my camera on. But I also need to disconnect this. This is the only reason why I'm replacing this radio is my auxiliary cord. Here I had some friends that rode with me in the car one day. Long story short, and they bumped this. Somebody bumped it, and it's really loose now. And it doesn't. You have to like basically hold it if you want just right. And if you hit a bump, it goes away. So then you lose your whatever. And I like to play off my Bluetooth and stuff or my auxiliary. So basically, I'm gonna pop this thing loose. I already started grabbing a hold of it. See how it's popping loose all the way around. Just like so. Oh, I need to get that change out. So I'm going to pop this thing loose. I'm going to unplug my four-wheel drive. I'm going to unplug all this stuff right down through here, and we're going to set this thing to the side. Got the little bezel piece off around the stereo there, and I've already started taking off the little 7mm nut or screws on the sides. I got one more We'll take it off and we're going to slide the radio out. Okay, so I ended up having to take off the 2 screws. I forgot, I wasn't thinking. The 2 screws that hold the climate control on. Lay that down like that because it has the little tabs that block it in place for the dual climate control. Lay it down just like that. I'll grab the radio now. Alright, well, I'm going to unplug everything on the back side. Got my factory radio uninstalled here. It's all undone. I had a little trouble getting the antenna unplugged. It did not want to come undone. Remember those being kind of hard to do. It's the next day. My camera crapped out on me last night, so we just kind of quit. I don't know what the deal is with it. So now I have to hold it with all this hooked to it because for some reason it's just not wanting to work. I don't know. Which it is arctically cold outside. So I don't know. So now we're going back. We're still on the radio here. I'll show you guys what we figured out. My buddy Matt came over. We worked in the side of my truck. I'm going to show you guys what we figured out with that. But beforehand, I'm going to be mounting these little plates on the side here. This one goes on this side. We'll mount those on the side. Just take some screws. I had to dig up some machine screws I have in that tote right there for this. For some reason the radio, they don't come with them, I guess. So I'm going to put those in the side and put this front piece on the front through those so it all jives together and it's ready to go. Well, I got the sides put on, the radio and everything. I had to put a different screw in that one because I already ran in there and made it bigger. But it's all put together, both sides. So now I got this little face plate on here. So it looks pretty cool. I like that. So now I'm going to show you guys what we did on the inside. Okay, so I got my glove box. Flipped down. All you do is push this little tab up. The glove box will flip down. And what you want to go after, if you're wanting to use a factory XM radio antenna, right here's where it plugs up into your factory XM module, whatever you want to call it. And it has this it'll have this little yellow tab on it. And all we did was we took a picked that end up right there, slid it out, and this is what you get. This is what Matt and I kind of figured out. We were playing around and thinking through here. So what we're going to do now, I'm trying to unhook it into this because I'm not going to be using my factory XM module anymore. I'm going to be using this one. So to go with my new radio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take me a razor blade. I'm going to cut this loose a little bit up through here off the sheathing or whatever, and make it a little bit longer so I can zip tie this on a harness somewhere right in here to give me more, so I can have more cord length here. Coax or whatever you want to call it over to my radio. So that's this little quick trick right here to get you if you want to use your factory XM radio, XM antenna with your aftermarket XM. And if I wanted to go back factory, I can. I just take this and push it back into that and plug it back in. Okay, so I got the as you can see the little box. I don't know if you can see it up there right past the little crash bar right there, but I got it zip tied up there out of the way. I got my coaxial right there running all the way down right there, and I got this re-zip tied up out of the way. So hopefully that's going to work out pretty good for me. So I'm going to put my glove box back together, just folding it back up like that. Okay, so now we moved on to the middle of the truck here. I got all my little controls, my connectors in, everything that I need. I'm going to show you everything I have to install this radio on one of these trucks. Here's my antenna. This is my little antenna adapter. What I'm going to do with it is I'm just going to push it up in here like I had it just a little while ago because I don't need all that extra. It'll be something like that. Then I have this coaxial right here. This is for my XM radio. This is the one we were just working on. It's going to be somewhere, I'm going to be able to plug it in out here, and when you put the radio in, it'll be like that. So not a big deal. And let's see, the next coaxial will be this one. This is for, so I can still use my factory USB port with my radio. That's what this is for. So I'm going to leave that off the side. I'll plug that in. And here's my steering wheel control, everything I need to run my new radio. And I don't know if I showed you guys this or not. Well, this is for the steering wheel control. I'll plug this on the back of it. But already heat shrunk and soldered all the wires, as you can see right here. All the wiring for it. It's all been heat shrunk or soldered together and heat shrunk. So I already did that a few days ago. So the only thing I got left to do to hook up, besides hooking the radio up, is this little pigtail right here. This is for my new door chime whenever you open the door. I don't mind having it, so I'm going to put that back up. I'm going to actually run the wiring. When I push all this back in, I'm going to run the wiring down and hook it somewhere down at the floorboard so you can still hear it. I got the radio installed. I just put I just slid it up in there. I tucked all the wires in the back as far as I could and just set it up in there. I put the screws all back in it, got the climate controls put back on. That's all I did. So now I'm trying to get to this wire. I don't know if you guys can see him, get a light. Let's see. That wire right there, I'm going to try to run it, snake it down through the through this little hole right in here, down somewhere right where my ashtray is. Okay, so I had to take this kick panel loose. I still have a 10mm bolt on this side. I didn't take it all the way loose, but it's just hanging here. I don't know if you can see the wiring or not. Let me see if I can move it with my hand where you can see it. A little white plug right here. I have my hand on. That's the wiring for the door chime right there. I snuck it down through, right through here. You can see the, there are my lights almost touching. It's kind of dark though, I'm sorry about that. It runs down and comes down right there at the kick panel. So, with that being said, I'm going to put this kick panel back on and hook that door chimer up and put all this back together. And I'm even going to put the bezel around the radio there. If I can set that light up, where you can see. It's so dark in here. I'm going to put the bezel around this, and I'm going to pull the truck out so you guys can see what it looks like. Well, I got the radio installed. It looks really good. Sounds really good. It's really amazing. I just linked it up to my phone, and I was playing some music off of it, testing it out. So I guess that's it. I was hoping to make this video a little bit more in-depth about installing this, but it is what it is. I just kind of went through it because I was just got into a mode where I wanted to get it done. But it's all done, looks good. I really like this radio so far, but I've only had it in here not even a day, so we'll see. But I appreciate you guys viewing and subscribing to my channel. Click that like, subscribe button if you haven't already, and be good to one another and get out there and enjoy life while you got it. And I'm going to head home. It is freezing out here. It's truck says it's 17 degrees plus whatever the wind chill is. But anyway, appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next one.